Shout out to Bombas for sponsoring this update. If you watched our E3 coverage last week, you'll know that we are pretty obsessed with socks here at The Know. But to get the most comfortable pair of socks you'll ever wear and save some money, Bombas socks will give you an additional 20% off your first purchase. And then you've got some awesome new socks. Plus, more money left over for all those video games they announced at E3. To get it, just visit bombas.com/know and start shopping. Welcome to The Know, I'm Mica Burton. If you were hoping the Switch stock situation was going to improve anytime soon, well, I'm sorry, but think again. According to some new comments from financial analyst Daniel Ahmad, there won't be a surplus of Nintendo's console within the calendar year. Ahmad wrote on Twitter, "Expect Nintendo Switch shortages to continue through the rest of the year. Production is still capped right now due to component shortages." That component he referred to is probably the NAND memory unit, which is being gobbled up by Apple in order to ramp up for the iPhone 8. So there's basically only one manufacturer for NAND memory, and Apple's got them mostly to themselves at the moment. So if you were all excited about Mario Odyssey and Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, well, you know, maybe you'll have better luck in 2018. Thanks to all these newfangled ultra-powered consoles, we are no longer content with just seeing gameplay from brand new video games. We've got to know their resolution and frame rate too. And following E3, Insomniac is talking a little bit more about what we should expect from Spider-Man performance-wise. According to the developers, the game is capped at 30 frames per second, regardless of whether you're using the PS4 Pro or the regular old PS4. When asked if PS4 Pro users could get a mode that supported a lower resolution at 60 FPS, Insomniac said, "Nope, not really an option." So it looks like you'll be slinging webs at the poor man's FPS. Sorry, everybody. We already knew that Mads Mikkelsen was confused as hell when Kojima first told him what the hell was up with Death Stranding, but it looks like Mads is in pretty good company because nobody on Kojima's team understood the game's concept either. This information comes from Kojima himself, who said as much during an interview at E3 Coliseum last week. The legend said about Death Stranding, "For Death Stranding, I started explaining a year ago to the team what I wanted to make. No one got it, because I was trying to make something new and something different. So for me, I personally think that if people are opposed to you, then you're on the right track." It looks like BioWare isn't going to be one and done as far as their new IP Anthem is concerned. Executive VP of EA Patrick Soderlund said that Anthem will be a 10-year journey for BioWare, starting with next year's launch. Now, whether he means a real 10-year journey or the 10-year journey that your Destiny hero didn't quite get, that remains to be seen. Either way, it looks like you'll be playing Anthem all the way to 2028, you know, assuming BioWare doesn't hand it off to their B team and then bork all the animations and everything looks weird and then it becomes a giant meme. We've got another supposed leak of a standalone release for Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, the old favorite that was previously only available, rather controversially, with Infinite Warfare. This time, the information looks a bit more concrete than just a random retailer listing, because Call of Duty fan site Charlie Intel has posted pictures of the actual retail copy of the game, price and all. Charlie Intel posted the game's box, which apparently comes from Target and is listed for a June 27th release at $39.99. That $39.99 does not include the game's $15 DLC for the original maps, however, which should surprise about nobody. If the game is in fact coming out next week, we should expect some kind of actual announcement almost any day now, so stay tuned, we'll probably keep you updated. One of the big pressing questions for Microsoft at E3, besides the Xbox One X, was about their console's need for exclusives and why they got rid of one of their biggest titles from last year's E3, Scalebound. And in an interview with Japanese outlet GameWatch, Xbox boss Phil Spencer revealed that it wasn't production schedules or infighting that killed the Dragon Buddy RPG, it was actually hype and player expectations. Interesting. Spencer told GameWatch, "My opinion is probably that the announcement was too early." He went on to explain because the game was showed too early, it became impossible to match up with the hype from players, and that the game kept growing to meet expectations. Ultimately, neither Microsoft or Platinum Games felt that they could match what players wanted, so you hear that? It was your fault Scalebound never came out, because you wanted too much. How dare you out there, internet? Yeah, that argument makes complete and total sense. Resident Evil 2 Remake didn't show up at this year's E3 as rumored, but it looks like the game is nevertheless coming soon. In an interview with Collider, series programmer Hiroyuki Kobayashi was asked if he had any upcoming projects to mention. He responded, "The only thing I can tell you is about something that's already out in the public. Resident Evil 2, a remade version, will be out from Capcom soon. We've got more proof that Diablo 2 and WARCRAFT 3 are getting remasters. A couple of job postings from Blizzard for a software engineer and a UI designer basically spills the beans, mentioning the two games as well as StarCraft, saying we're restoring them to glory. While Blizzard has announced the StarCraft remake, it hasn't said anything about Diablo 2 or Warcraft 3, but these job postings are a pretty good indicator that you can expect them in the future. There's been a lot of speculation that the upcoming Dark Tower movie might be a sequel to, instead of a retelling of, the Stephen King books, and it turns out that rumor is true. Director Nick Arcel told IGN that the upcoming movie is a canon continuation. That's exactly what we intended and what Stephen King has signed off on. So it looks like there will be plenty of new stuff there for all you Dark Tower fans. The movie is starring the gorgeous and lovely Idris Elba in the leading role, and it hits theaters on August 4th. Will Venom be a part of the new Spider-Man universe? Well, it looks like the answer is yes. Sony officials said recently that the upcoming Venom spin-off, as well as the Silver Sable and Black Cat movie, will exist in the same universe as Spider-Man Homecoming, and it's possible that Tom Holland could make an appearance in one or both. Spider-Man producer Amy Pascal said recently, both movies will all take place in the world that we're now creating for Peter Parker. Previously, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige said that Venom isn't part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so this appears to be part of Sony's effort to build its own separate Spider-Man universe, based on the characters that it acquired from Marvel, including Venom and Spider-Man's most famous villains. They just won't be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But anyway, Spider-Man Homecoming will be in theaters July 7th, and Venom will come out sometime next year. The developer of Friday the 13th game is apologizing for its server issues and wants to make it up to you. The horror game based on the popular slasher movie franchise has had a lot of problems with lots of players unable to connect to the game since its release last month. Developer Ilphonic acknowledged that the game had a rocky release and recently rolled out an update to fix a number of the game's security holes. Meanwhile, a free content update coming today adds new retro model for Jason, plus 2 new costumes for each camp counselor, and gives all players 13,000 customization points. There's also a double XP weekend starting Friday, so soon you too can be stalked by a hockey mask wearing psycho. Isn't that what we all want? What a relaxing summer. Well, that's all the news we have for you today, but for more news tomorrow and every day, because that's what we do here, make sure to like this video, and if you're new around here and want to catch more of that news, subscribe to The Know. Thanks to Bombas for sponsoring this update. Bombas socks have solved just about every annoying sock problem imaginable to give you the most ridiculously comfortable pair of socks ever. There's no annoying toe seam, no falling down your leg, and added arch support in every pair. Plus, for every pair of socks ordered, they donate a pair of socks to those in need, so you're not only getting comfy socks, you're also supporting a great cause. To get an additional 20% off your first purchase, just visit bombas.com/know.